Top Shelf.
Hello and welcome to Top Shelf Board Games. I'm Hubba.
I'm Sabrina.
And today we're doing a review of Thunder Rally Track Pack. This is the new expansion that came out for Thunder Rally, and it's also compatible with the upcoming Grand Prix that GMT is putting out. So, let's check it out. Alright, so the new Track Pack expansion for Thunder Rally comes with 5 different tracks. You have 2 that are specifically designed for Thunder Rally, and that's your smaller ovals. You have 2 tracks that are they're bigger maps, and there's 2 different tracks. One is for Thunder Rally, and one is designed more for the new upcoming Grand Prix that GMT is putting out. And then you have your hybrid track, which is designed for both Grand Prix and Thunder Rally. Well, let's go over what we think about this expansion.
I like the tracks a lot better. Like, it was more meatier and, I don't know, meaner. Because the smaller tracks, you're in each other's spaces all the time, moving your cars in and out and whatnot. So you have to play your cars, like, you have to be really good.
Which track are you talking about? Or just all of them?
Well, the last 2 we played. The dirt road one.
Okay.
And then the other one that we played.
The hybrid track?
Mm-hmm. But because when we played with 4 players, it still was pretty meatier to meaner.
It was meatier.
Meaner. It's just, you have to play your cards very strategically.
Yeah, I think, and that's one thing I've noticed about this expansion. It does seem like some of the tracks can be extremely unforgiving. If you make some mistakes, you will quickly be losing cars. You'll get lapped and you'll start having cars drop out of the race. And it's not just with a 2-player game either. Even with the 4 players that we had playing,
we had a couple cars
on the really small oval that's just 2 lanes all the way around. With 4 of us playing, we had all the way up to 6th position lapped at one point. All those cars didn't get eliminated,
yeah,
but at one point the lead car had lapped everybody but 6 people. And there's with 4 people, there was 16 cars on the map, so over 10 vehicles had been lapped. And so it can be very, very unforgiving, which to me is a good thing. I like it because it's very strategic. Thunder Rally's always been one of those games where, it's a Euro racing game. There's very little luck other than the cards you get drawn that you draw.
That does make a difference, though.
Which the cards you
draw can get lucky
does
and
make
not
a difference.
Have damage on your cards.
But see,
so
to me,
not have to pit.
The other way about Thunder Rally that it can be played, it can be a very social game because you can be talking to the other people. Hey, let's team up. If I team up with you, if I get in your group, let's zoom along here. Or are you going to leave me behind?
I don't know why.
There is, if you have depending on your group, you can very well, Thunder Rally can be a social game where you have alliances formed, you get in groups and you go. And that's one way you can play Thunder Rally, and that's the way I find it to be very enjoyable. But even so, these tracks can be very brutal. The dirt track was interesting. It actually felt kind of like racing on a dirt track. All of our cars were in pretty much one solid line, with the occasional break off on the straightaway to try to pass somebody. But on the corners, you can't switch lanes for the dirt track. And so your cars, you almost don't dare break out from that single line to try to pass anybody because it might mess you up. If you get left behind, you're done.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it was really quick. Like, you can go around the lap really fast.
Yeah.
If you have all the cars in line.
And I was surprised how quick that dirt track was. We did those 4 laps very fast. And if you've seen the picture that I posted on the board game group or our page, Yeah, you seen that I had one car left at the end of the race.
And
Only
he still
one
never
car.
pulled him across
Only
the
one
line,
car made
so he
it.
never made it across the line.
Well, one car at least stayed in the race. Everybody else got it lapped and pulled off.
So, I always manage to get my cars together somehow. I don't know how I do it, but I do.
Well, seeing on the dirt track, I had pitted on the yellow flag that happened pretty
Well, I didn't
early
have
in the
to.
race, and I did that because it's basically a free pit, and I thought we'd have to pit one more time before the race ended, and she'd have to pit, and I could pass her on that last lap. But as fast as we went around that track, she ended up not having to pit at all,
And I passed him.
and just left me behind.
Actually, it was your own dude that passed your other cars.
True.
So-
But I had to get him some points. Let's see, the other track, the bigger, more open tracks, as kind of expected on a big open track, you had cars not getting lapped, but you had, groups of 2 and 3 breaking off and being segregated all around the map or around the board. Which, it's kind of expected on a big track like that.
Mm-hmm.
Made it difficult to catch up to people if you got too far behind or if your group got too far behind.
But it did make you work together as a team.
Yeah,
I mean, everyone
there was a
joining.
lot more wear markers on those tracks.
Mm-hmm.
So pitting actually was really crucial, like when you pitted on those big tracks.
Well, I shouldn't have listened to you that one time to pit, so he won, but I
Yeah,
should have just pushed it.
yeah,
So
that big track.
it does make a difference, I think, sometimes.
The time you pit, the timing on your pit stop is crucial on those bigger maps.
Well, and how you play your cards, because you want to give someone no damage, or there's a lot to it, but it's not too much.
Yeah.
Because we've even taught my dad, who doesn't play games either, and he's learned it, and he really likes it too.
Yeah.
So it's not hard for newbies or anybody that doesn't play board games to get the grasp.
The tracks that are the big Thunder Alley track, and then it has the Grand Prix track. There's a road that cuts down through the middle of the board. That's the Grand Prix track. We didn't race. You can race the Thunder Alley cars on the Grand Prix track.
We haven't done that.
We didn't try that, so I don't know exactly how it works as far as.
Because we even raced with our 5-year-old.
Yeah, I mean you can do those tracks, the Grand Prix tracks with Thunder Alley, but they're not designed for Thunder Alley, so it might not work as effectively. But we did all the tracks that were designed for Thunder Alley, and hopefully when we get a chance to.
Try Grand Prix.
Yeah. Hopefully, when we get a chance to, that's what I was trying to say. Hopefully, when we get a chance to try
He's just
Grand Prix,
excited.
we'll be able to, tell you how the Grand Prix tracks work with this expansion. So I really liked it. I really enjoyed it.
It definitely added towards the game. It didn't make it, like if you have sequels, it it's a hit and miss.
I think it's a good expansion, and I think if you plan on doing seasons with Thunder Alley,
Yeah,
like getting this
do
track
that.
pack made me want to do a season with Thunder Alley because now we have 9 different tracks.
yeah.
Actually, if you count the Grand Prix tracks, there's actually 11 total tracks or variations of tracks that you can race on between the original game and the expansion. So there's a lot of different track variations to do a full or a big season with. So that's really cool, and that kind of makes me want to go do a season. Even after as much as we played it this past week, getting all the tracks played.
I can see that.
So yeah, if you're into doing a season, I highly recommend the track pack to add to your add to the variability of the tracks. They add a lot of strategic options to the game. There is some minor changes to some of the tracks and how they work.
Well, then the rules
for
are a
instance,
little
the dirt
different.
track, you can't pass on the outside lane, and you can see that in the how to play video where we'll show you the boards and the differences on those boards. Rule changes, though, there's not really too many.
I think, though, too, the expansion helps because you have smaller racetracks. So if you want a quicker game, like the dirt road, it's quicker. So
Yeah.
you would take, if you want a really quick one, then you could just do the smaller racetracks.
Yeah.
So
So with that in mind, I really like it, Thunder Alley is always one of my favorite games. So
Right, he did one without me, the Top Shelf for Not.
Right.
So, yeah, it's not one of my favorites, but I'm okay playing it. So,
Yeah.
and I think the expansions probably made it better because I do like the dirt track. I like the smaller tracks better because it takes less time. So,
okay, with that in mind, thanks for watching. Check it out. Subscribe to our channel. Check us out on Facebook and
share
follow
with
us
your
on Twitter.
friends. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.